Hi, and welcome to Noonday Prayer at Jackson First Presbyterian Church here in Jackson, Michigan, not Jackson, Mississippi, although there is a First Presbyterian Church of Jackson in Mississippi. It's not us. We are in the north. I want to continue just this thread talking about change. We have changes happening within our own church as our pastor has retired after 22 years. But we also have significant change in these last 18 months of COVID and all of the changes that have happened to us. We didn't initiate these changes. They were things that happened to us, and we had the choice to respond to them. Some of the changes have been hard. I would say some of the changes have been good, and some of the changes have been very hard. It really depends on who you are and where you're coming from. But overall, I would say that most of us would say there's a mixture, that this has been hard. This has been hard. And I think that even as we move further and further into, this length of time, even when we were able to see good things, there's an element of this has become harder. And so I would ask you to think about, how has your faith and your faith practices changed over these last 18 months? Can you see anything good that has come from it? Now take a moment. Our initial response is no. I can't see my grandkids. I can't do this. I can't. And so there has been a lot of loss. But I would ask you, can you think of even one thing? In my family, my college son came home from Western Michigan, and he was here 5 months, from March to, the end of August. And I know as a mom, that was a gift. He will never live in my home again for 5 months like that. He's graduating in a couple of weeks. It was a gift. And it was a gift to see my kids interact together, siblings. And you know what else I noted? I think we had at least 90 days in a row that we sat down and ate dinner together. Unimaginable. Even though we ate dinner together quite often, but sports or church events or things like that would pull us away. But we had 90 days that we ate meals together. Wow, what an extraordinary gift that was. So I ask you, can you see something good that has happened in these last 18 months? Maybe it's a new awareness of what's important to you. Maybe it's a new appreciation that, wow, I value community. I value being in the church building. I value these friendships. And that's a gift. That's a gift. Many of us don't know those things. We don't take the time to recognize what a gift they are. But we've been placed in this situation that gives us time to reflect. I talked to my mom. She's turning 94 in a couple of months. I'm sorry, she's turning 95 in a couple of months. And I asked her, how has your faith changed or grown in this time? She lives alone, and she said to me, she goes, I see God's goodness. And I trust that God is going to see me through this, that I am in God's hands. And God has given me peace, she said, even though I'm alone. And though she's physically alone, she has a community. People from her church that check in with her. What do you need? Can we get you this? And she said to me, I'm not afraid. And that means a lot to me, to know that about my mom. And it also means a lot to me of a woman who has lived through much. The tail end of the Great Depression, World War II, the Korean War, Vietnam, the riots in Detroit, 9/11. And she says, I'm not afraid. She goes, I read my Bible every day and I do pray. And I offer that to you, that's a practice that she has had since I can remember. I remember seeing my mom and my dad read the Bible and pray together. What is sustaining you? And even when things are tough, I go back to the most fundamental, basic things. And you that know me know I say this, that the sun is going to come up in the east and it's going to set over in Lake Michigan. And that is a steadfastness that God is present. God is present with me. So I would ask you in the next day or two, write some comments in the Facebook post. Write some comments. How is God showing you that something good has come during this time? The Psalms say that a thankful heart prepares the way for God, and that our gifts of thanksgiving are like an offering to Him. Let's fill up our Facebook post with offerings of thanksgiving, of God's goodness, even in a time that has been very tough for us. Holy God, we thank you for the ways that you sustain us, for your faithfulness, for the people that you bring around us to encourage, to invite us to see your goodness, to provide a meal, a smile, a phone call, a card. We are not alone. We are not alone. You are everywhere. Everywhere we are, you are present. Help us to notice that today. Help us to be still and notice your presence. In Jesus Christ's name, amen. Grace and peace to each of you.